And because ain't number one thing coming after that. It's some bullshit. So I mean, I don't even know what she said after that. But it's for sure it had to be. Well, to me, it's a day to give thanks to the Lord or whatever. Be thankful for whatever. Now here's the issue with all those any type of holiday that's like that. Well, a motherfucker would say that. This is what I'm talking about. It's now you know what that particular day. Before you ever celebrated it, motherfucker, the devil was celebrating it with the meaning that I'm giving you. Okay? He was celebrating Thanksgiving about killing your ancestors, your people, and talking about some being thankful like it's some good shit. Taking their land, poisoning them, and so forth. Christmas. Babylonian holiday. You talking about some Jesus. That's what it meant, but you got to understand. Saturnalia in the Roman Empire. But the shit was happening before you was ever born. You can't, I'm telling you what the fuck it means. And you gonna tell me, well, to me it means, I don't give a fuck what it means to you personally. Because number one, like I said, it was already being celebrated. You didn't make that shit up. It means what the fuck it means. Not what you want it to mean or what you so-called celebrated, take it to mean yourself. And then the second is this is the major issue. Let's say you say Thanksgiving to me, Thanksgiving is a day to give thanks. Day for me to be thankful. Motherfucker, you got 365 goddamn days in a motherfucking year, and you trying to tell me that you can't pick now another one except for the one that the devil put up there. You that much of a follower. I was in this nigga church, Sammy Holloway. He's the pastor down here at the church that some of my family members down here go to. Breath of Life Christian Center. This nigga gonna say one day, like a lot of Christians, pastors teach. Well, we know Jesus. This is about 5 years ago. He gonna say, well, now we know Jesus probably wasn't born on December 25th. But it's just as good as any other day because don't nobody really know when Jesus was born. And matter of fact, you don't really know when you was born. What the fuck? First of all, as far as you don't know when you was born because he's saying you was a baby, you don't remember. What the fuck do that shit got to do with anything, nigga? But the other part of that, he said it's just as good as any other day because don't nobody really know when Jesus was born. Well, first of all, we know it's hints, like most of us know, it's hints in the Gospel of Luke that indicate that the nigga wasn't born during no goddamn wintertime. But the issue with that, again, is the same issue. It's just as good as any other day. That's bullshit, nigga. I know these pastors is down with the devil. They some 33rd degree ass niggas. If it's just as good as any other day, if you really believe that, then some years you celebrate February the 7th. Another year you celebrate May the 18th. Another year you celebrate September the 3rd. No, nigga, you don't do that, do you? You wait specifically until December 25th every motherfucking year. So it's not, so in your mind, at least subconsciously, that's the day he was born. Because if you really believe that bullshit that you said, then you would do just like the examples that I just gave you. Celebrate it on various days throughout the year. So you letting the devil, and then talk about all the world. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, motherfucker, you part of the world, bitch. All the world, they celebrate, they talking about Christmas. You let the fucking world tell you what day to celebrate his birthday on. That makes you a whole ass nigga. And they gonna talk about the world. And these niggas, and this same nigga, he talking about, their motto in their church, we are a Bible teaching church. The fuck that shit mean? I thought all churches supposedly supposed to teach the Bible. So he must be claiming that his church teaching more thoroughly. Yet he still got a fucking Nimrod tree up in his damn church. Now he even quoted and read out of Jeremiah chapter 10 one day, where it said, where the brother would talk about the Christmas tree. Learn not the way of the heathen. Now, he gonna say, some people try to take that to mean you can't have no tree. Yeah, you can have a tree. If you like tree, you can have a tree. It don't mean you can't have no tree. How the fuck you gonna say it don't mean you can't have a tree? The first thing he says in that passage is learn not the way of the heathen. And then what he do? He gave you an example of some shit that the heathen do. With the example he gave with the Christmas tree. Now, if he say, you set up this tricknology, as they call it, that these niggas be running, man. And you tell it, some of y'all don't believe these motherfuckers is possessed by demons. Come on now. Now, that's some wicked ass shit. And then you got niggas, oh no, it wasn't no Christmas tree was invented 2,000 years after Jeremiah. Are you out your damn mind? Motherfuckers, that's the thing about these Christians, and you got to understand. I understand it perfectly. They can't go back to Babylon. They got to stop in the Middle Ages or medieval Europe. They can't go back no fuck. Because they got to say everything started. Because you got that shit, Yule logs and shit that they talk about. Oh, that's in Germany. Just like the Easter egg and shit. That's it. That started in Germany. No, Easter egg go back to ancient Babylon. That's fertility symbol. Egg, duh. Rabbit, same thing. That's an animal. That's a fertility symbol. The rabbit, because rabbit have all kind of motherfucking babies. And then the motherfucker, when they talk about fucking, and they fuck real wild, what they say? They fucking like jackrabbits. You see what I'm saying? That's the slogan. There's a reason for that. That's a symbol of fertility. The so-called Christmas tree, of course, goes back to ancient Babylon. But the thing is, the reason why they never do that is because when you go back to ancient Babylon, Christianity is murdered, man. When you go to that civilization, Christianity is KO'd instantly. You can't still be no so-called Christian after you study ancient Babylon, because all your virgin birth, Christmas tree, Easter and all that shit. I mean, even the goddess Astarte. That's where the fuck they get the name Easter from. You know what I mean? Ashtoreth, whatever the fuck you want to call her. The Lord, Baal. Go to Canaan, they call him Baal, but, Baal and all that shit. You can't, when you start going into Babylon, I mean, Holy Trinity, the Tammuz is Nimrod's son, but he's also a reincarnation of Nimrod, so he's Nimrod's son and Nimrod at the same time, that type of shit like that. Just like Jesus, he God, but he also the son of God. See what I'm saying? Shit like that. All that shit in Babylon, man, you go back to Babylon, that's Christianity right the fuck there. So a nigga can go all through and say, well, see, you go back to medieval Europe and you say, well, Jesus was born 2,000 years ago. And then you go back 500 or 600 years to get some history and say Christmas was already there. And then they put this pagan shit from a couple hundred years ago into it. See, a nigga can't go to the ancient history, because he started going to ancient history. You see that shit was around before Jesus. That the same story, just by a different name, was around before that motherfucker. That's real simple. And a nigga ain't gonna study. A nigga in there just to feel comfortable. It ain't talk about no Christmas tree. This motherfucker said, for one, cut it down a tree from the forest. Fasten it down that it move not. Then he said, and they deck it with silver and gold. Nigga, what the fuck else can that shit possibly be talking about? And that's all I'm gonna say about that shit. Just wanted to get that on out there, because I'm through talking about these niggas for the day, Shalom to the good children.